Okay, geometry students, today we're going to talk about trapezoids. The characteristics of a non-isosceles trapezoid: you have bases on the parallel sides, and only one pair of opposite sides are going to be parallel. Also, consecutive angles are going to be supplementary. Supplementary means they're going to add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so this angle here and this angle here will add up to 180. This angle here and this angle here will also add up to 180. Now let's talk about the isosceles trapezoids. The isosceles trapezoids also have bases on the parallel sides, but it also has legs. And those legs are on the non-parallel sides, and they are congruent. The diagonals are also congruent. So if we take a look at the diagonals, they are also congruent to each other. The base angles are going to be congruent. So the base angles, angles that touch each base, are congruent to each other. So the green angles are congruent to each other, and the blue angles are congruent to each other. The opposite angles are supplementary. Okay, so that means the opposite angles are going to add up to 180 degrees. This angle and this angle will add up to 180 degrees. This angle and this angle are going to add up to 180 degrees. Okay, let's take a look at some examples. Number one, they give us a non-isosceles trapezoid, and they want us to find the measurement of angle K and angle M. So for angle K, we have these two angles. These are consecutive angles, and they're going to add up to 180. So if I take 180 minus 51, that'll give me the measurement of angle K, and that is 129 degrees. These consecutive angles will add up to 180. So if I take 180 minus 87, that's going to give you the measurement of angle M, and that is going to be 93 degrees. Let's take a look at number 3. Here we have our parallel sides, so that means 54 and 8x plus 6. They are consecutive angles. So I can take those, I can add them up, and that should equal 180 degrees. So 54 plus 8x plus 6 equals 180. Let's simplify. 54 plus 6 gives me 60. And if I subtract 60 from both sides, I get 8x equals 120. And then when I divide by 8 on both sides, I get x equals 15. That's what they ask us to find, so we are done. I want you to take a look at number 4, and I want you to answer that one, pause the video and answer that one on Edpuzzle. Okay, let's move on to number 5. DEFG is an isosceles trapezoid. Okay, remember, that means our sides are equal to each other and our diagonals are also equal to each other. So let's see, DG then should be equal to EF. DF then should be equal to GE. All right, number 7, let's look at the angles of an isosceles trapezoid. So the measurement of angle Q is going to be congruent to the measurement of angle P. Okay, so angle Q, if angle P is 112 degrees, then angle Q is also going to be 112 degrees. And remember, the opposite angles are going to be supplementary. So if we take 112 and angle R, we should be able to take 180 minus 112, and that's going to give us the measurement of angle R, and that is 68 degrees. And remember, angle R is congruent to angle S. So that makes angle S 68 degrees as well. All right, let's take a look at number 9. Number 9, if MNOP is an isosceles trapezoid, and MP is 16x minus 13, 16x minus 13, and NO is 9x plus 8, and PN is 5y plus 19, and MO is 12y minus 37. They want us to find x and y. So let's deal with the x's first. 16x minus 13 is going to be equal to 9x plus 8 because the legs of our isosceles trapezoid are equal to each other. So let's simplify. Let's subtract 9 from both sides. That gives me 7x. Let's add 13 to both sides, and that is going to give me 21. Now when we divide by 7, that gives me x equals 3. All right, let's talk about the y's. Diagonals of an isosceles trapezoid are also congruent to each other, so 5y plus 19 is going to be equal to 12y minus 37. Let's simplify. 12y minus 5 is going to give me 7y, and I add 37 to both sides, I get 56. Divide by 7 to get the y by itself, I get 8 equals y. And that's what I needed to find is my x and my y. All right, let's take a look at number 10. Number 10, if ABCD is an isosceles trapezoid, find each missing angle. So we have angle D and angle C is what they gave us. And remember, on isosceles triangles, the base angles are congruent to each other. So we can say 2x plus 27 is going to be equal to 5x minus 12. Let's simplify. Subtract 2x from both sides, we get 3x. Let's add 12 to both sides, and we get 39. Divide both sides by 3, I am going to get 13 equals x. Now, they ask us for the measurement of the angle, so we have to take that 13 and we have to plug it in. 2 times 13 plus 27, that is going to equal 53. So measurement of angle D is going to be 53. And remember, C is also congruent to D, so that's also going to be 53 degrees. All right, and if you remember, opposite angles are supplementary. So if I take 180 degrees, and I minus that 53, that's going to give me the measurement of angle A. 180 degrees minus 53 gives me 127. So the measurement of angle A is 127 degrees, and that makes the measurement of angle B also 127 degrees because base angles are congruent to each other. All right, let's take a look at number 12. I want you guys to do number 12 and answer in Edpuzzle. Okay, let's turn to the next page then, and let's talk about the midsegment of a trapezoid. The midsegment of a trapezoid connects the midpoints of the legs. So if EF is the midsegment of the trapezoid ABCD, then AB is going to be parallel to EF and is also going to be parallel to DC. Also, EF is equal to the sum of your bases divided by 2. So if we add AB plus DC and divide it by 2, that'll give us the length of EF. So let's take a look at number 1. Number 1 said is AB is 14 and DC is 26. They want us to find EF. AB is our top, DC is our bottom. Those are our bases. So let's find EF by adding our bases, 14 plus 26, and then dividing it by 2. 14 plus 26 is 40. 40 divided by 2 gives me 20. So EF is equal to 20. Let's take a look at number 3. If EF is 22 and DC is 38, they want us to find the other base, AB. So EF, in this case, is 22, so that's going to go here. And then we have AB that we don't know, plus our other base, which is 38. And we divide that by 2, then we can solve to find our AB. First thing I'm going to do to solve here is I'm going to multiply both sides by 2, get rid of our 2 in our denominator there. That's going to give me 44 equals AB plus 38. And when I subtract 38 from both sides, I get 6 equals AB. Okay, I want you to take a minute and do number 2 and answer in Edpuzzle. Okay, let's take a look at number 5. For trapezoid PQRS, Y and Z are the midpoints of our legs. They want us to find YZ. Okay, so let's use that midpoint formula that we have. EF is going to be equal to, or excuse me, YZ, 5x minus 19, is going to be equal to our two bases added together divided by 2. So 38 plus x plus 14. Okay, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply by 2 on both sides again. But we have to remember to distribute that too. So that gives me 10x minus 38. And simplifying on the other side, 38 plus 14 is going to give me 52 plus x. Now we can start to simplify. Subtract x from both sides, I'm going to get a 9x. Add 38 to both sides, I'm going to get a 90. And when we divide by 9 on both sides, we get x equals 10. Okay, so they ask us to find yz. So we need to take that 10 and we need to plug it in to find yz. So yz is equal to 5 times 10 minus 19. So 50 minus 19, yz is going to be equal to 31. Okay, that's it. Have a good night.